Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another conversation in this series. Today, we shall talk about the DevOps culture and try to gain a holistic understanding of it. Join me to welcome our guest for this episode, Ms. Monica Saxena. Transitioning from an academic background in accounting, pertaining to which she has a master's degree from Osmania University, Monica has been deeply engaged in technology. She currently serves as the business manager at Teliolabs and delivers excellence across a wide array of practices and technologies such as DevOps, IoT, AI/ML, telecom, and next-gen tech. Welcome, Monica, to this conversation. We are really excited to have you and looking forward to draw some knowledge from your expertise and experience.
Glad to be here, Anna. Thank you.
So, as I mentioned, we are going to talk about the DevOps culture today. But before delving into the details of it, what it is, can you shed some light on what the DevOps culture? What do you mean when you say DevOps culture? What it is, and what are its key components?
Okay. Uh, right. So when we talk about DevOps culture, right? So DevOps culture is one that promotes collaboration and continuous improvement and focus on delivering value to the customers. So it is a cultural and organizational shift that actually aims to break down silos and promotes cross-functional teams and with the shared responsibility for delivering high-quality software products. So building a DevOps culture entails developing multidisciplinary teams that actually accept responsibilities for the product's whole lifecycle development.
Yeah.
And DevOps culture is based on the organizational culture, right? So that one which focuses on ongoing learning and improvement, mainly through team autonomy and regular feedback and strong compassion and trustworthiness and cross-team interactions. And now when we want to talk more about the different components for a successful implementation of a DevOps practice, the first thing which comes is the collaboration and the teamwork, and the collaboration and the communication between the team. So in a strong DevOps culture, collaboration between the development and the operation teams is must. And then, that comes with the shared responsibilities for quality and security. And then what we can talk more about is, continuous feedback sessions on learning. That's also very important. We always look for ways to improve the processes and practices, right? Using feedbacks and metrics to identify areas for improvement. And then we implement those changes in our practice, right? And the other component and the important component will be automation and tooling. Anand. So the use of automation to streamline and standardize the processes, that's very important. So this includes the automation testing, deployment, and monitoring tasks, as well as using tools like infrastructure as a code to manage and provision resources. And the other thing which I wanted to emphasize here is, focus on the outcomes and also on the customer value, which we would get into that. And, the DevOps culture plays a strong emphasis on understanding and meeting the needs of customers. And, teams helps to deliver the value to customers quickly and consistently, and use of customer feedback to guide their development and deployment process. So this ongoing process of sharing the feedback, right? The feedback mechanism that really helps in the quality of the end product, and it helps to understand and to meet the customer expectations. So these are a couple of the components that are really needed when we talk about a successful DevOps practice in the organization.
We are talking about the DevOps culture, but it's really imperative for us to understand why are we talking about it in the first place. The reason, what I mean to ask you is, what are the benefits that this particular, that developing a DevOps culture offers to an organization, so that, so that it becomes a topic for discussion for us?
Yes. So when we talk about adopting a DevOps culture and the benefits, right? When you adopt a DevOps culture, it helps organizations to become more competitive, and it helps organizations to become more innovative and resilient, but also improving employee satisfaction as well as the customer experience. So some of the major benefits here will be, quicker deployments and faster time to market. So DevOps culture emphasizes automation, collaboration, and continuous delivery, allowing different organizations to release, software updates very frequently and with latest speed, right? And then comes increased efficiency. So by breaking down the silos between development and operations teams, a DevOps culture can eliminate the bottlenecks. You understand, right? It eliminates the bottlenecks and it streamlines workflows, which results in greater efficiency and the productivity for the team. And also it improves the collaboration, the communication. That's very important for the success of any project. So by fostering the communication and collaboration between the team, DevOps culture actually improves the relationships and it builds a strong sense of teamwork and shared responsibilities. And also the very important point is cost optimization, and it also improves security aspect. So it helps in reducing the risk of vulnerabilities and breaches. And also if we talk about it, it also helps in increasing innovations and agility. So these are some of the benefits, the major benefits one can get when they have a strong DevOps practice in that.
Thank you for letting us know what are the benefits, and I think this is a perfect segue to the next question. Actually, it looks to be quite a fairy tale scenario for an organization to have such a culture which offers so many benefits, be it quicker time to market or maybe cost optimization, improved customer experience, and whatnot. But surely there must be some challenges that the organizations come across when they try to implement it. And along with the challenges that they come across, can we also have some measures that we can incorporate to overcome them?
Certainly. So what happens is it's not only about DevOps. Okay, when somebody wants to introduce any new technology or a new process, there will be a lot of resistance from the team, right? There's a lot of pushback. People don't accept change easily, right? So the same thing happens when we plan to introduce DevOps into an organization culture. First thing comes is resistance to change. Right, the legacy processes and the technologies are often, deeply ingrained in an organization's culture, and they may resist to change, right? So what happens here in DevOps culture is it requires a cultural shift towards collaboration and continuous improvement, and which may be very difficult to achieve in an organization that is set in its ways, right? Which has this pushback attitude or they don't want to change. So that will be one of the challenge which we might face. And the other thing will be the lack of trust and accountability, the lack of communication and collaboration between the teams, and legacy processes and technologies. And most important thing is the lack of automation, right? These legacy processes often rely on manual processes and human interventions. Which can be like time consuming and error prone.
Yeah.
But DevOps actually relies on automation to streamline the process, which can be difficult to implement in an environment where the automation is not the norm.
All right.
Right. So these are a lot of challenges which an organization will face. All right. And when we talk about,
how can we overcome those?
Yes, I was actually coming to it. When you talk about challenges, then definitely there will be solutions to it, right? So there is nothing which is impossible. So, but the way we approach to a problem, that usually helps us to, achieve the things what we set out for. So here, when it comes to, overcoming the challenges, first thing is like we should create a shared vision and the goals among the team, and build the trust, and transparency should be there. There should be an open communication, and breaking down the silos and promoting cross-functional collaboration is important. And then you need to adopt new process and adopt the technology gradually. Slowly you should introduce the technology, and you should make the team and the management understand the importance of having DevOps in their software lifecycle. So these practices, if we follow, then I think it should help us, help the team.
Talking of how to overcome the challenges, are there any best practices which an organization or the person at an organization must follow in order to implement this DevOps culture?
Oh yes, certainly. Implementing a DevOps culture requires a comprehensive approach, Kanak. Okay, that which highlights the collaboration, automation, and continuous improvement in security. And some of the best practices for implementing a DevOps includes starting small and iterative, fostering a learning culture, create cross-functional teams to work together on projects, and foster a culture of shared responsibilities. And one should invest in automation, and one should invest in tooling. So automation is a crucial component of DevOps, as I discussed earlier. So implement automation tools and process wherever possible to reduce the manual intervention and increase efficiency. That's one thing. And then you should encourage experimentation, innovation, and have to invest in people, invest in employee training. That is very, very important. And then comes promoting transparency and communication between the teams. So these are some of the practices which one should follow if they want to implement any new technology, be it DevOps or any other technology. These are a couple of the practices.
Having seen what we must do in order to implement the DevOps culture, in order to answer the challenges that that implementation of a DevOps culture can pose, these have been what we should do, right? Let's have a look at what we should not do. So, what are some mistakes you think that? What are some common mistakes that we should avoid when building a DevOps culture?
Okay. So when we talk about the common mistakes or common hindrances or the blockers, right? First, what I can say that focusing too much on technology and tools. So why one has to focus on technology and tools? That is important. I'm not saying that it's not, but this should not be the sole focus of a DevOps culture or DevOps initiative, right? A successful DevOps culture requires a strong focus on people, a strong focus on process, and also a strong focus on culture. So these are the three important things. And then we should not ignore the organizational culture and behavior. And then comes neglecting the security and compliance. So that's also an important thing. And then forgetting about what the customer needs are, right? One should not. That's the main purpose of our work, right? So, and then overlooking the importance of training and educating. DevOps requires a new mindset, a new skill set. So failing to invest in training and development can actually result in the lack of understanding the main concept of DevOps. So a lot of trainings has to be implemented. Then, and one more thing which I want to highlight here is that most of them think DevOps as a one-time project, but it is not. Okay, DevOps is like an ongoing journey, Alec. So it is not a one-time project, right? So organization must continue to invest, continue to evolve their DevOps culture to remain, competitive and maintain the evolving business needs. So this practice has to be ongoing one. That is what I feel.
I recall you mentioning that this is similar to how life is, where life is a continuous evolution, right? So is
Right.
and there are lots of analogies that we can draw, that we can pin between life and DevOps itself.
True.
Thank you for also mentioning a point that does not come very obvious to, at least to me, when you talk of practices such as DevOps, and that is a very stringent focus on the people who are actually at the bedrock of it all, right? Because they are the ones who will be implementing that, and if in these practices, this culture has to be implemented in the manner desired, right? The people have to be up for it. They have to be trained in the in the best possible manner to be able to implement certain practices, to be able to work with certain tools, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, this was an insight to me, quite a new one. Um, the next question, this will be the concluding one of this conversation, but this to me, and I'm certainly to you, will appear like a hot cake. What are some emerging trends in DevOps culture?
Okay, that's a very interesting and a good question to conclude our discussion, Anand. So here I would like to just talk about a few of important emerging trends that are coming up in the DevOps culture that we have already started implementing. Few of them, right? First thing comes is DevSecOps. So it is about integrating security into DevOps processes, right? So DevSecOps is an emerging trend in DevOps culture that emphasizes the integration of security uh, security practices into the DevOps workflows. Okay, and the other one is NoOps, which is like fully automated operations. Then comes value stream management, optimizing the end-to-end value delivery process, and then AIOps, right? AIOps is using artificial intelligence and machine learning to enhance operations. So that's a very interesting trend, which we can dig deep in our coming sessions. And then other thing is GitOps. This trend involves, managing infrastructure and application using the code using Git. So by embracing these emerging trends, and organizations, can continue to evolve the DevOps culture, and they can stay ahead of the curve in an increasingly competitive and complex environment. So, a couple of trends. Yeah.
So thank you for shedding the light on these. You mentioned these trends, say in DevOps and NoOps, AI Ops, and GitOps and others. So what I wanted to ask you is, are these independent of each other? Say if an organization is implementing DevSecOps, is that implementation completely independent of GitOps, AIOps, and NoOps? What exactly um, do these practices share, and how are they different from each other?
Okay. Okay. So these practices share similar fundamental principles, Anak.
Mm.
So since they are implemented towards different objectives, they have they get different names.
Okay.
Okay. So if you ask me, are they independent of each other? They are, and they are not. Okay.
Okay.
So they are independent in terms of the objective they achieve, and they are related because they draw from the similar foundational principles.
Well, matlab, that's
I
quite
hope I'm able to answer your question.
early. It's quite paradoxical and an eye opener at that. And thank you for the answer. Um, Thank you, Monica, for being such a graceful guest. It was a pleasure to have you with us, and we look forward to having more conversations with you in the future. I'm sure that this interaction has been enlightening for all of you, as it has been for me. Thank you all for being such a patient and engaged audience. We're really pleased to see your interaction, and the questions that you share with us are really inspired. Please continue to do so through our channels on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We shall be back soon. Till then, take care. Cheers. Thanks, Monica. Thanks again.
Thank you, Anand. Take care.